Hi everyone, Sherry here for Craftin Desert Divas, and today I would like to take this opportunity to introduce you to the July release, and we're going to start with the torn paper die. In this die you get 2 frames, and you can see here that it is an inside-outside frame, so you have the cut line in the middle, and then you have the signature Craftin Desert Divas stitch detail on either side of the cut line. So you have a large one and you have a smaller one. You also are going to get the Hooray word die. Let's take another look at these cut. So here we have the Hooray. And I will show you this in comparison to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch card base. Perfect size. And then we have the larger frame. So the inside measurements for this particular one is going to be, I would say, about 3 1/2 by 4 3/4. So you can either use the outside cut to use as a frame, or you could use the inside cut to use as a mat and maybe sponge around the edge with a little distressing, kind of give it more of that vintage feel. And now for the smaller one, again, you get the outside cut, which gives you a much wider border, and then we have the inside cut. Now that inside cut is going to measure about 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. Next up in the lineup, we have the new Swirl Stencil. This would lend to making some very beautiful backgrounds. Also, this would be adorable paired up with one of the new stamp sets that I'm going to share with you momentarily. The first stamp that I would like to share with you is Brighterdayz. I apologize in advance if there's any glare, and I have used this stamp set quite a bit already. So more than likely, as you can see here, I don't have them lined up perfectly on their backer sheet. But I hope you are able to see what the actual stamps are. So here we have this cute little bear. He has a little jar full of fireflies. You have extra little firefly. Then you have this little lamb here with her net. And could be a purse, could be a basket that she's going to put her butterflies in. We have the cute little owl carrying his little jar of fireflies. We have a standalone little butterfly. We have the butterfly trail. Then we have this cute little bunny chasing a butterfly, as well as a little companion here, which you could make him a squirrel or a chipmunk or even a skunk. It's all in how you interpret the stamps. Supporting sentiments are, dreams are like butterflies meant to be chased. Also, I forgot this cute little mouse here with the butterfly landing on his nose. Next sentiment is brighter days are ahead. And then we have You Glow Girl. I think that this stamp set would pair up fabulously with the torn paper dies. This little guy here sort of reminds me of Vintage Pooh. And I don't know. This lends itself to sort of a vintage look as well. So I think these two would be a great pairing. Next up, we have Skating By. This one is super cute. All the little critters on their skateboards. And this too would pair up perfectly with our Swirl Stencil. Maybe color up your little critters and ink up your background with the stencil and have your little critters skating around the swirl. So here we have a little rabbit on her skateboard, as well as maybe a wildcat. You can make that a tiger, maybe a mountain lion, cougar, whatever. You have a moose. We have a cute little fox here with his ball cap turned around backwards and blowing a bubble with his bubble gum. And then last but not least, we have this little ram or mountain goat. And the supporting sentiments include "This is how I roll," "Skating by with a ... And you could use various other stamp sets from Craftin Desert Divas to finish out your sentiment. And then we have "Let the Good Times Roll." The third stamp set in the lineup is Fruity Friends. This is super cute, and you have all these different little characters that are dressed up as fruit. So this little girl here is a pear. Then you have your apple along with the little worm. And then we have the little strawberry girl. And then we have the two little kids that could either be grapes or cherries, whichever one that you decide to make them. You also have some supporting stamps here. Pear, apple, orange, strawberry, cherries, and or grapes. And these would be perfect to create your own pattern paper. Stamp these all over 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 piece of cardstock and color them all up, and there you'd have the perfect background paper to accompany your whichever one of the stamps you decide to use. So the sentiments here are "Miss you very much," "Love you to the core," "You're perfect," and "Hello my cherie." Then we have Llama Party. This is a rather large stamp, so it'd be perfect for a landscape card. This is 5 1/2 inches long by 3 1/2 inches tall. And this is just so cute. Color up your llamas, different shades of gray maybe, maybe some tans or some light beige, and then really put a pop of color on them, coloring in their accessories with some bright colors. The sentiments for this set is "Lots of love," "Como te llamas," and "No problema." The next stamp set I want to share with you is a rather large one. This one is a 5 by 7. So we have in the center here this big mandala, if you will, which would be so beautiful with each element within the stamp itself colored in different colors. This would be perfect too for maybe heat embossing on some watercolor paper and using your watercolors to fill in the stamp, or maybe heat embossing and using your distress inks or distress oxide inks, or even your dye inks, whatever you prefer to use. You have the big U sentiment here. Beautiful font here. So "You are amazing," "You make me smile," "You are so loved," "You will be missed." You could pair this too with maybe the kindness stamp set from a previous release. And maybe do "You are beautiful," or Beautiful You. Several different ways you can use this and pair up with some of the other stamp sets from Craftin Desert Divas. You also have some supporting elements here that are actually just portions of the main stamp itself. So you could use this one, which is basically this area here, and create your on by repeat stamping. You have the little circles here, your center flower here, and then this little portion here of the stamp as well. And then last but not least, we have the Good Times. This one too, for me, kind of takes you back, looks a little vintage, cartoony, what have you. And I think this one too would be great paired with the torn paper dies. So here we have a little fox playing the accordion, and then here the sky you could color as a bear. You could, you know, make him a skunk where his tail might be hiding behind him. Your imagination, you're only limited by your imagination. So we have this little critter sitting here reading a book by the tree. And then we have this little critter here with his little teacup or coffee cup. And here is another little tray of goodies that you could make a scene with this guy. And even with this one, we have this little mouse here who's holding the apple. And my favorite, of course, is going to be this cute little frog and this cute little beaver in the boat here. And the supporting sentiments for this one is reading is dreaming with open eyes. And good times and crazy friends make the best memories. So this is going to be it for the July release. Thank you for joining me. And if you haven't, please be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And we will see you again soon. Bye now.